Welcome to Statzone podcast show. Today we have our guest Thulasi, who's a trainer, entrepreneur. Over to you, Thulasi.
I'm Thulasi Manogaran. I have my own life skill training company, and now I'm specializing and directing towards Heal Your Life workshops.
How many years you're in this field?
Actually, Avita, this is my 10th year.
All right.
So that's been an amazing journey for me. And all these years, I've never thought that I would become a trainer. Now that I'm turning also into an entrepreneur, that's a welcoming step.
Great.
I've chosen incidentally to become a trainer
Okay.
out of my own past experiences, wherein I really wanted to do something for myself significantly. And that's why I landed up taking up some courses to learn for myself to make my life better. That's how I chose. And in the process of learning, I thought, hey, I can also become a trainer. It's very easy to blame other people and say, hey, you're the mistake. You're the problem maker in my life. It's very easy to pinpoint to others and say. When I wanted to start taking responsibility, again, denial, refusal, ignorance, innocence, arrogance even for that matter, everything in step in. I was very glad that it took up some 2-day workshop, which happened in Chennai. So from there, my perspective of thinking about this person or the situation, everything started changing. Most interesting part is that once I attended, even the first day, something came up for me as a spark. It told me there's something to be worked on yourself rather than the other person or something. That came up and I was able to resolve a conflict, immediate conflict, because it's all about the thought processes. Then it took me at least 2 years to really practice what I learned during the workshop. For me, it matters so much that when I'm not practicing, I cannot say anything to anybody. So I started practicing then.
Okay. So what kind of transformation your audience get when they go through their program? So Louis Hay is one of your key programs.
Yeah.
So what other programs you touch upon for the corporates or for the students or a public workshop apart from Louis Hay?
So in an affirmative language, every one of us can keep saying, I am enough. That's powerful.
Fantastic. This is one interesting phrase, I am enough. Like, how does emotional intelligence help a student, a corporate employee, and a homemaker or a woman who is handling all the pressures of the house, handling both the finance part and the family household things? How does this emotional intelligence really help?
Yeah, very good question. Thank you for asking me, Abhita.
Welcome to Statzone podcast show. Today we have our guest Thulasi, who's a trainer, entrepreneur. Over to you, Thulasi.
Hi, Abhita.
Hi.
I'm Thulasi Manogaran. I have my own life skill training company, and now I'm specializing and directing towards Heal Your Life workshops.
Awesome. Great to know, Thulasi. So how many years you're in this field?
Actually, Abhita, this is my 10th year.
All right.
So that's been an amazing journey for me. And all these years, I've never thought that I would become a trainer. Now that I'm turning also into an entrepreneur, that's a welcoming step.
Great. So this was an accident for you, becoming a trainer and an entrepreneur?
Maybe. Or I've chosen incidentally to become a trainer.
Okay.
Out of my own past experiences, wherein I really wanted to do something for myself significantly. And that's why I landed up taking up some courses to learn for myself to make my life better. That's how I chose. And in the process of learning, I thought, hey, I can also become a trainer. That's how
So your self-development, it became an entrepreneurial journey.
Absolutely.
And you wanted to give it back to others, whatever experiences you got out of the self-development.
Absolutely.
Great. So what kind of growth have you seen this 10 years and what kind of challenges you've faced and overcome?
There are many challenges. For a woman, we need not tell them it is one or two. There are many, right from molding ourselves, grooming ourselves, to even help our own family members and going and facing the outside world till we get married. There is something that we don't see the natural world. When we really have to struggle, that's where we see the real world and the real phases of life. So all those challenges really helped me to move on. So these are some little bit of the challenges.
Okay. So how do you take feedback and criticism, Thulasi? Because you're in a field where you have to give feedback. You are helping people to evolve, to transform their life.
Right.
So in the meanwhile, you will also get certain feedback where certain people will not connect to your programs or content or your kind of style. So how do you handle that?
Absolutely. Honestly speaking, initially I was not very open to any of the feedbacks. It generally happens because we have been raised differently in different families. So we come with different mindsets. So I too come with a different mindset. For me, somebody is telling me, I would like to authenticate with what is the fact. So that was my need. But maybe at times people would like to, out of love, they would have said something. In that priority of mine, I would not have taken it very seriously. But now that I'm reflecting back, now it's really helping Not only, see, even though my role says that I need to give a constructive feedback to other people, when it comes to our own self, there's always a setback or a denial. It naturally happens. Now that I'm saying, I'm also moving out of it.
Okay.
So that we become more open. See, nobody will come and simply say it. And if somebody going to simply say and they pass on any criticism, you will have the gut feeling to know, hey, this is true, this is not true.
Okay.
So that's how we will evaluate them.
Very nice, very nice. So even as a trainer, Thulasi says she herself had a challenge to overcome the criticism and feedback. As a human being, everyone, we resist the feedback.
Right.
And then later our instinct tells us how to take it, take it or leave it, right? Okay, how did you get connected to Louis Hay workshops? I'm so interested in that because even I've read the Louis Hay books. I'm a fan of her too. So what connected you to her?
Yeah, the all the struggles and challenges every person go through the life, be it for men or women, doesn't matter. Everybody goes through the challenges. Sometimes we come on the verge that it looks like somebody's pushing you to take action in your life. That's how Heal Your Life workshop came to me as a magic.
Okay.
All the time I was not realizing something that I need to do on myself, because it was very easy to blame other people and say, no, hey, you're the mistake. You're the problem maker in my life. It's very easy to pinpoint to others and say. When I wanted to start taking responsibility, again, denial, refusal, ignorance, innocence, arrogance even for that matter, everything will step in. I was very glad that it took up some 2-day workshop, which happened in Chennai. So from there, my perspective of thinking about this person or the situation, everything started changing.
So you attended the workshop first.
Yes, yes.
And then your perspective changed. And then as usual, you wanted to give it back to others.
Absolutely.
That's how your Heal Your workshop
Absolutely,
happened.
absolutely. The most interesting part is that once I attended, even the first day, something came up for me as a spark. It told me there's something to be worked on yourself rather than the other person or something. That came up and I was able to resolve the conflict, immediate conflict, because it's all about the thought processes. Then it took me at least 2 years to really practice what I learned during the workshop. For me, it matters so much that when I'm not practicing, I cannot say anything to anybody. So I started practicing then.
So Thulasi, you've been a good student, learning a subject, whatever challenges you had, that itself you took as a subject and studied. And then you became a very good student implementing it. And then later you became matured enough to give that back to the audience. So who are your target audience? And so whatever challenge you face in life, that is your subject for the audience. Is that how you take your career? How is it?
That's a very good question, Abhita. I will say all the challenges that I had faced, I'm curating them to become a new program. So that itself will get converted as a course. As such, we'll be right now doing mostly on life skills training program. That the target audiences could be an employee, could be a student community, or could be a public workshop. Some criteria, something like that. So both of the fields has really helped me. Whatever I've learned is also helping. Whatever I'm able to apply is also helping. Whatever challenges I've faced or I'm still now facing, it's also helping. I feel overall it's all about a learning process.
So how have your family been in supporting your career? Because as a trainer, you travel a lot, right? So sometimes the company is outside city, outside the state also. So you travel a lot. So how supportive is your family?
My family does support in the way they can. So I'm also supporting them equally. So they would support me in taking care of the family. I have an elderly father to take care. I have teens at home. We just can't imagine being with teenagers. The whole house can go haywire. So that's a different...
Teenagers.
Yes, absolutely. And now my father has also become a kid. So with all of them and with my husband also, there's a lot of dramas will go on. But still, all of us are supporting each other on the mutual love and understanding. So that's how we're able to support each other. Right now, I'm over here. So there are people who are taking care of the home.
So it's a mutual give and take. That's what you say.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you take care and sometimes they take care in their absence.
And my work is also like that. No? I've chosen a work where I could keep it flexible. I try to understand what my strength, what is my weakness. For example, I may not be very good at financial management, wherein my husband would be. So it's better for me to give that responsibility to him and he will take care. We're as simple as that.
So how do you stand out in this industry? Because this era, this online era, especially after COVID, we see thousands and thousands of trainers coming out. So how do you see yourself in this arena and how do you stand out?
See, Habita, things goes like this. So basically, I customize a program according to the needs of the company. So that's how we stand out. Whether it's going to be me or my pool of trainers, everybody, they all are completely into it. Suppose they say, my team is not functioning well. There is some sorts of ego clashes happening. We wouldn't take that ego clash as one superficial element because it's only surfacing right now. What we go is, we go a little deeper inside. What causes the ego clashes to come in? Who is responsible for it? Can our program be made or customized so that everybody can become accountable in a more fun and learning manner? That's how we stand out.
So even with your team,
Yes.
you find out the root cause. You go to the depth why this is happening, understand and address it.
Right.
That's how you stand out. Okay. So what kind of transformation your audience get when they go through their program? So are you getting those feedback, and what is the feedback from your audience?
Abhita, every day we get feedback some or the other way, especially during the session. They will definitely realize the value of that particular training they've gone through, because we make it more experiential. So that moment they will realize, there is something valuable for me. Then they'll start applying it. So that you can definitely see as a change in them. So that's what we have seen so far. And there's also sometimes they come openly and they say, this can be improved, that can be improved. So see, when we create that platform for people to be more open, they come and tell us. It's not about more fixing our mind that this is a standard feedback. I would like to really fix my mind towards improvisation.
So you're open.
Next time we can do much better than this.
So Louis Hay is one of your key programs.
Yeah.
So what other programs you touch upon for the corporates or for the students or a public workshop apart from Louis Hay?
See, for corporates, I'm very actively doing on emotional intelligence. That's number one. The second thing is about the team management. So team is where the power is. When everybody comes together, no force can separate them. So that's what I have seen.
No force can stop them too.
Yes. Yeah. So we help them. And also for the corporates, I do little bit on recruiting. When the person comes as a first intern to the office or any institution or organization, they face lot of challenges. Okay. So they do not understand where they need to be. Even though they have the talents and the skills, sometimes they do not know, but they have all the willingness. So those people, we train them. So we get them to the basic life skill module, and then we help them to align with their goals. So individual goals and also the company goals. Fantastic. So that they get intact with, because it's all a matter of feeling, giving and receiving at both the end. Because the company as a big organization, they really wanted to value their employees. Employees, on the other hand, they also wanted to give back to the company.
Definitely.
That's a wonderful workplace. So we focus more on these aspects. So be it team building or emotional intelligence, or be it recruiting at the initial stage itself, these are the programs that we do as customization.
Great.
And for the education institutions, of course, we do campus to corporate programs, so that we are helping them to really shape up where they want it to be. So giving them the guidance so that it becomes easy for them to really pitch in which company they want it to be.
Yes.
What I find is nowadays all these college going students, they do have lot of clarity. When it comes to skill and the behavior, they might be lacking behind. So we help them in really extracting that behavior.
So you tweak them.
Absolutely.
So they're having a staff and making them ready for the corporate world. So that's what you do. So how long time it takes? Let's say if you're doing for a college, what is the time you spend? What is the tenure you spend? And if it's a corporate, because by doing just 2 days, you see a level of transformation. But only during a consistent program, you see a massive transformation, right? So what is the time you take for?
Yeah, that's really a wish for me as well, to get an year long, it's fully, completely 1 year long or 1 year programs. It really helps them to build up the leadership in them. Sadly, what generally happens is that you'll be given 2 days program or 1 month program or 6 months program up to different cadres of the people. Even then, it works.
It works.
It works in every way. Be it half a day or 1 hour, nothing matters. When the content is completely made for them, it's tailor-made for them, people will feel connected and they bring the change. This one happens. And for the employability skills that you were asking about, there how it changes and the time that involved for them could be for 4 days is minimum for them, because by the time they come to the 3rd years and the 4th year, I'm talking about the engineering students, they get to know what's the importance of them, and now they're being let out in the real world. They need to survive, right? First thing. So they will try to be with us. If you're going to give the same kind of training to the first years, they may not listen to. So when they come to the campus, there is a need in the market. So they'll be definitely obliging to. It becomes easy for us. So 4 days. See, and naturally what happens is it's all a lifelong journey.
Yes.
Start with, it's a gateway.
Okay. So what Thulasi says is training is a starting point. It's not a one-time event. It is a lifelong journey where each stage we require each kind of training or self-transformation to move to the next level. So, and Thulasi is also ready to give her knowledge, expertise and skills to help students, corporates, and also you do the public workshop, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of public workshop you do?
My public workshops are different, diverse topics. Number one is Helio Life workshops that I do, which is based on Louis A philosophy. That's happening in Chennai for 2 days. So 2 countries. So I'm going to conduct my 7th workshop in the month of October.
Great.
So that's one thing. The second thing which I do as a public workshop is Ancestral Healing Program. So now I'd named it as an Ancestral Blessing Program, which I believe that through prayers we can definitely invoke all the ancestors in the family lineage, pray to them and get our problems resolved. So this is
how
how
does
I do.
this help? I would like to dive into this.
Yes, please.
What is this ancestral healing about? This sounds a little new for me, maybe for the audience too. So can you give more brief about this ancestral healing? How it helps? What kind of problems can be solved through this ancestral healing?
First of all, anything can be solved. When you're going to do a prayer always can move mountains, right? You've heard of that, right? So everybody says when you pray with pure intent, everything can happen for you. So think about all your family lineage people. And when you are suffering, do you think all our family lineage people will be just watching, even though despite the fact they're absent in the world, they will be definitely watching all of us. All our ancestors have only one intention, to make our world a better place. At least they keep on saying, let my family flourish. Let my family flourish means, so there is some sort of positivity they've already ingrained in all of us. Even though we talk about the DNA passing of the qualities and everything, still there is a power in our ancestors.
So by invoking this prayer, okay, so we are getting their blessings.
Absolutely.
So that is what you're telling. So how long we need to do this? And who has to do this ancestral healing?
Anybody who finds the challenges in the health, in financial matters, or sometimes always keeps them very much worried. They have any issues with the children, something related to property, anything of any problem. They really seek some mental peace of mind. Anybody can do this Ancestral Blessing Program.
Okay. So and how long is this program?
This program I conduct 1 day in person, and also I give them a supplement hand-in support online. And it's being followed by a lot of online sessions that I've continued to do it. So if it's going to be an online session, it's going to be 4 sessions and 1 supplementary sessions that I give to them.
What are your audiences telling? What is the feedback after the session?
Yeah, they feel very relaxed. They felt they are being supported, and all the time they've never felt this kind of energy. They always say that something is there, Thulasi. I've definitely explored. So I help them to connect with their core values. So that's how they write the prayer. When you're going to enroll for the program, your core prayer would be different. For the other person would be different. Even for my core prayer would be different.
So what is this core value?
Core values are something like, what do you value the most?
Love and respect.
Beautiful. For some of them could be trust. For some of them could be integrity. For some of them could be compassion. So based on your core values and based on the core values of your ancestors, we connect and we write a prayer.
So how do we know our ancestors' core value? If it was our immediate grandparents, we know, okay, what is that they value?
Yeah, we can get to know about your core things through your immediate grandparents.
Okay.
So through them, talking about them, finding all the difficult situations wherein they have encountered, they have overcome.
Okay.
What was the best thing your grandparents did? I help the audiences to connect to those things. So once you connect the dots, you'll be able to write a prayer for them. So it's again reminding them, talking about them, valuing them, respecting them. The core value met, that's it. So when you connect with that, when you're soulfully connected, you will definitely feel empowered inside.
So my core value may be different and theirs may be different.
Absolutely.
Because they, for example, my grandparents, they are 70 years, 80 years ahead of me. And they, what I feel from my experiences, they were more in a survival mode, not to trust anyone. And I've seen my dad also taking the same words from them. But I trust in people. But now after a few years of experience, I have my boundaries. So there is a mismatch, right? My core values are different. My parents and grandparents are different.
And none of us, our core values need not be the same. We will differ in some of the other aspects. We continue to differ. But through the session, I'll be able to know there's a commonality between you and your ancestors. Not all ancestors will come for this program. We need to really be into that space. That space of divinity and humbleness has to come, both from my side and both from. So we need to seek their permission. So it's a process, and we get enlightened. If you are meant to do that, you will do it.
Okay. So
I've done so far for 21 people.
Great. So by doing that, now we come to a common grounds with our ancestors.
Correct.
And now we will be able to empathize and understand from where they come and what we are, and connect and seek their blessings. That will help us to solve our problems. This is how you connect the dots through your energy and session.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
So we provide that some space of understanding. We really become empathetic to these people. All these people, we have taken them for granted.
Exactly.
So we are going to honor them. How do we honor them? Really praying. Genuineness. That's what. Our ancestors look for the genuineness.
So our ancestors, have they not moved on in their spirit world?
They might have moved on, they may not moved on, but energy is energy, you know.
We still can invoke their energies.
Yes, we can. And whoever wants, we can. I can learn through your ancestors. I can learn from any of the ancestors. I've done so far for 21 people. All their ancestors are able to help me, support me. They're taking me somewhere for the best place that I'm experiencing. I'm grateful for this experience. That is naturally happening.
Okay. So viewers, this is something I'm finding very unique with Thulasi. Okay. If you have, generally they say any problem which exists more than 6 months, it's called karmic. It can be health, it can be relationship, it can be experiencing life. Some people, they have money, but still they cannot be happy or peaceful. Okay. So there are 4 areas of life which generally people struggle. So Thulasi is saying, if even someone has a land issue or a litigation which is going on, which they're struggling in the court, or a health issue which is going on very long, maybe it can be from their DNA, from the DNA of their ancestors. So we need to understand the root cause. This is something beyond medicine world. Okay. So we need to go deeper to understand. For that, we have to go into a training in depth to understand where it all started, or have we picked up subconsciously or through our DNA? We do not know. So this is something very unique I find in your training, Thulasi. Very nice to know about this. And viewers, this Louis Hay is again another interesting program. So someone, our body has the capacity to heal. So we have to believe we have the capacity to heal. So this Louis Hay will help you to her workshop. Louis is a person from America, right? If I'm correct. So she's a person who was going through a cancer. So she didn't want to take the medicine, and she healed herself through alternate therapies. So her program is only called Louis Hay Helio Body Workshop. So definitely I would recommend that also of Thulasi's, because any problem in the body can be healed without medicine through alternate therapy. So definitely, please experience it. I would say, try it. If certain places, even when medicines didn't work, I have tried alternate therapies. So it has really made wonders. So we should be a little open, or when we can be open is when nothing works, we surrender, right? So I think for your workshops, people should be open-minded to experiment and see whether it works, right? What do you say, Thulasi?
It works. See, when I just have a different opinion about when nothing works, you have to surrender. I feel that even everything is working, we can surrender.
Now, some people, they have this problem of surrendering. They say, I can solve it.
All of us have.
They try to use their conscious mind.
All of us, we wanted to be, I am important. I know these things. I have better value. This is all naturally comes. But I feel whether things are working out in our favor or not in favor,
be in surrender.
Till I can surrender. That's what I'm witnessing. So Helio Life workshops is basically what was Louis who popularized self-love. And it's not just an alternative way of looking, it's a holistic way of looking at life. The life, in that 2-day workshop, you will see what is happening in your life right in front of you. No drama, nothing, but you will see what is happening. Sometimes we are all caught in the world of fakeness, no? And our own authenticity we can't see, we can't take it. We don't confront what is before us, so we don't change. And for some people it is okay. For some people they really wanted to get to a better level. So in that cases, Helo Life workshops really appreciate you to really honor yourself, love yourself. See, when we talk, because there are so many people keep talking about self-love. When really you're stuck with love for yourself, no, you can never think of any, even small inch of harm to other people. So love overflows. That's the power. So her agenda was to really create a planet
so
of
invoke
love.
that self-love so that the love overflows and we are able to spread to others. So people who are generally, I believe in this, people who are hurt only can hurt others.
Yeah,
so
true. Very true.
If I'm hurting someone, I'm hurt inside. So Heal Your Life will definitely to help you to heal yourself and invoke your self-love. And so what is your message to the women out, entrepreneurs, or to the public? What would you say, Thulasi?
Especially to the women, I really wanted to say them, have more clarity. Be with right kind of people who are really interested in your welfare. So spend time there. Do not forget that you are also important. So in an affirmative language, every one of us can keep saying, I am enough. That's
Fantastic.
powerful.
Fantastic. This is one interesting phrase, I am enough. That itself completes, right? We don't have to seek from others.
We can seek from others. There's nothing wrong. But not that I have to seek from other people to feel full. That is something that I need to fix my thinking. So I am enough. I'm stating means I'm whatever good I have, whatever bad I have, maybe lack or abundance, whatever it is, I'm enough.
Okay. So I have one more interesting question, Thulasi, before we conclude. Generally, people in the public life, especially celebrities, you're also a trainer where you meet a lot of people, hundreds of people or thousands of people in a college or a corporate. So there's something called evil eye, jealousy, so negativity. Does this all affect you? How do you overcome this?
It does affect because I'm not sure about the energy impact that does to our body probably. Or maybe I'm giving weightage that something will happen to me. So this is again something which is beyond our, phase of life. What I generally do is do a lot of meditation. I try to get into the space of silence. Okay, so that really appreciates listening to divine music. So that's again letting go of, okay, this very thought that somebody is looking at me. We all get drained naturally because
it's energy drain. Yes.
Yeah, so we could probably replace the word itself as an energy drain instead of saying it's an evil lie. It could be true, Abhida. It could be in a holistic approach with a different kind of healer. Probably they might be able to shower more insight on that. But what I generally do is I accept the fact. I accept the fact that I'm right now feeling tired. And it has got nothing to do with whatever happened. I really did my job. In doing of the process, I need to meet people, no?
Yes.
Can I confine myself to sit in the shell and then say, I will be here only people? It can also happen. I do not know. Okay. So what I'm feeling is that take silence, take rest, have some hot water bath, keep some japas or do some mantras, and sometimes we also can do some selective forgiveness.
Selective forgiveness.
Or forget certain incidents. That also can.
So this does not stop you. So even though sometimes you feel drained, energy drained, it doesn't stop you, right?
Yeah, when we are really...
So that time you take rest, you're in meditation, you're in silence, you're in healing baths and with healing music, and then you charge yourself and again keep you going. So this is what keeps you going in your business. So what keeps you going in this training field?
Faith in God.
Okay. So faith in God.
Faith in God.
So that's what keeps you...
Yeah, and I believe everybody has a purpose to live. Live the purpose so that you're being truthful to the God who has created. It is not I created anything. You're just in the journey. So that message is really powerful. That hits me every time. So I cling on to this message.
Faith in God.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thulasi, you have been specialized in emotional intelligence also. Can you give more brief on that? Like how does emotional intelligence help a student, a corporate employee, and a homemaker or a woman who is handling all the pressures of the house, handling both the finance part and the family household things? How does this emotional intelligence really help?
Yeah, very good question. Thank you for asking me, Abita. Now, when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's like now it has gone a little bit popularized, and also people are understanding the essential need for the emotional intelligence. Previously, people used to think that intelligence, a person is being intelligent. That's a best thing.
Okay.
No? Even just if you notice the child is studying in a school, you will only compliment the child's ability based on how much mark or whatever their records they have got. Okay, so for them, the child is intelligent enough, so that was a qualifying thing. And even for the corporate, for that matter, this person is intelligent and he's using his skill to perform certain activities. Okay, so they're only specific only to the intelligence part of it. For our family members, we know, on the contrary, we function. We only attach to our emotions.
Yeah.
For us, emotional well-being, we talk about emotional wellness. I'm looking for some companion who could give emotional support to each other. So my requirement in my family would be only for emotions. Whereas when you look at for other places, for example, let it be a school. If it's going to be a teacher-student relationship, the teacher might be highly intelligent, but when she lacks empathy in connecting with the child, the whole funda goes. Okay. The child always feels emotionally unsupported. The child feels invalidated. What am I doing? My teacher doesn't like me. So these are the questions or the answers they will never find from anybody else. Because who is there in the comfort zone for the child?
So what should we do there then?
The teacher has to really understand what emotions are. Emotions are basically all our mental reactions, all the reactions of the body. But how do we feel that? How do we interpret using different meanings? Actually plays a big role in anybody's life. So the teacher has to be cautiously understand where this child is coming from. Is a child sad? Is a child hurt? What can I do? What is the child going through? See, that's how not only the curriculum is not going to serve. It might serve 80%. With due respect for everything, I agree for all this thing. Yet, there are some 80% of all our life events only being shifting or navigating towards growth only when you have enough of emotional intelligence. So that when a teacher doesn't understand, the child goes through emotion. They are also going through emotional distress, no? So they do not know how to get it connected or get it vented out. So they always find the student.
The teacher should be in a position to understand the student's emotion and support them accordingly. So the same applies to the corporate world.
Absolutely.
So how can we expect our boss or a supervisor or a client to expect our emotions? Because I have faced this personally. So when I was pregnant, I was talking to my client. Okay, I was requesting something. Actually, he was going through COVID. But I could empathize that point of time. Okay, he did not know that I was pregnant, so he was screaming over the phone. So I didn't say anything. I just cut the call. Okay, fine. But I felt very bad. Why did I put myself in such a situation? He was also going through COVID. He was also like cranky or something. So what should we do when two people are going through such a situation? I'm also in a vulnerable state, which he does not know. He was also in a vulnerable state. So
one way for you to look at it is, because this all happened in a phone conversation, always take it a time to check with the person to speak. First thing is that one. Second thing, the matter is related to this one. Can I talk in detail about it?
So you get that should happen again in phone, or we should go in person?
Better is always in person.
In person, yes.
In person. Even the chat, have you noticed now, every time that we send a chat message, always gets us misrepresented or miscommunicated.
A person who communicates well in person doesn't communicate well in a chat.
Correct. So correct. When it comes to emotions, it becomes a different story. We are going to connect emotionally. When the other person is taking some time to speak, we need to really pause there and listen what they intend to say. But sometimes on the flow, because we wanted to deliver what we wanted to say, and also we also operate out of fear. What will this person is going to infuse some other rule or get me some other work? Suppose if in case I want to take a holiday, I might be so much of scared moments wherein I think, oh, if I'm going to even allow him 1 second, probably this person will influence me, make me do more work. So all these things that we do, but emotional intelligence will help you to really identify where are you. So you become more self-aware, number one. And when you become self-aware, you start regulating, you create an understanding how you're going to manage. Yeah, I'm really feeling impatient right now. What can I do to manage myself? That becomes one part of it. The other part of it is really understanding the other person. Maybe with his voice, I think I'm sensing he's getting cold. Probably, sir, is that okay? Shall I continue the conversation? This is about, so need to be very precise and handle the situation. And also, even everything has happened, we need not carry it for the rest of the day and rest of the years in our mind.
Yeah, even I stopped working with that client.
Oh.
I felt the trust was broken. He was a very good client of mine for many years. And I always have him in my good books. Okay, if I work for this client, things will happen, fall in place. But that trust I lost. So that company directors, there were 3 brothers. Other 2 brothers, I didn't have this problem. But I couldn't give my 100% because somewhere I felt the gap was there. Then recently he came back telling, seeing our work, okay, I'm ready to work with you now.
Beautiful.
After 6 months break also I called him. He said, no, I'm not ready to work with you. I said, okay, fine. I just left the gap. So how do you think in the corporate world they should take emotional intelligence workshop? I think both the management and the employees also need to take so that both are able to empathize with each other and give their best. What do you say, Thulasi?
Absolutely. Both of them, it's needed at both the end. But one suggestion is that these employees, they can be trained right from the recruitment on emotional intelligence rather than sometimes what happens is this training goes only for the mid-management. From the mid-management
so every level this training should go,
every
right?
level, even right from the security, everybody needs emotional intelligence. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
So everybody needs, we need to empathize. Somebody coming into your building. So can I empathize with the person? Can I honor their emotions? So it's something which is wonderful. Make them feel that we're all together.
Together, exactly.
And somebody yelling at you, one sudden morning somebody's yelling at you, that doesn't mean that you did something wrong. Something going on wrong in their life. Can I pause and then quietly ask them, what's happening? Are you okay? We'll talk about this later. But we are always in a hurry to get the work done. So that's what in organization it becomes more of task-oriented works, more towards task, wherein emotion is more about people. Even though we all need to get the task done, it's the people who will actually make the task possible. Otherwise, we can't do anything.
Okay, I get it, Thulasi. So this emotional intelligence, as you said, it has to reach all levels of the management or the company. Only then we can see a culture throughout the company. Otherwise, there will be a mismatch. So
that's a beautiful word, Abhita. Yes, it's a culture. I think emotional intelligence can be the part of the culture. Organization culture. We understand the other person, where they're coming from. Right now, my resume speaks about my skills and talents.
IQ.
Yet,
EQ is not mentioned.
Yet EQ, what happened to EQ? What will happen? Suddenly some fire is breaking out. What will you do? You will first run away, even though you have the leadership of, you are being in the role of a team leader. Will you run away, leaving all the team employees at the back and you will run away? Because you're very highly intelligent, you could sense the situation?
No,
it can't happen. People, still there are umpty number of institutions and organizations still surviving on that emotional aspect. Somebody is there. If you find that there will be all the people who have been with 30 plus of services still clinging to the organization because
they have an emotional connection. That's why in our parents' generation, they started with one company and they ended up in one company.
Right.
So these days, maintaining an employee for 2 years itself is a big deal.
Correct.
So I'm sure emotional intelligence is a very vast area and a very important area which it's not only confined to corporate companies.
Absolutely.
It is confined to every individual human being, every household, students, then the teachers, then again...
and our family members
and the entire society.
Homemakers.
Especially women. I think for women it naturally comes, I believe. So we start, understanding and only beyond a point we start
we understand, we over-understand. Sometimes we succumb to becoming a doormat also. That's not needed. So that's a different...
One more question I would like to ask
please.
Thulasi. Is basically a person, a lot of giver, I don't expect. But after seeing a lot of people being selfish or only thinking of themselves, seeing that continuously, now if I see someone hiding certain things or only giving this much, even I become like that. So how to overcome this concept of mirror? I became a mirror of them. Now I'm not able to naturally give more. I've become like calculative. Okay, you're giving this much, only I'll give this much. How to come out of this?
So you need to ask a very important question. Do you want to survive or do you want to thrive in the relationship?
So if I want to thrive, I should not look at the downside of certain things.
You're a natural giver. You're a natural giver. And based on the situation, you can decide whether you want to be a giver or a receiver. But changing yourself to match somebody's frequency, not needed.
Not needed.
Which is what I'm
So I think then I have to take a conscious action. Even though someone is hiding, or even though someone is selfish, or even though someone is not giving, I should, understand and leave it there and be myself. Choose to be myself.
Yeah, that is their way of thinking. That's nothing wrong. Somebody is hiding something. They don't want it to ruin the
Disclose.
relationship. It could be some positive intention they might have. Unless otherwise I talk with the person openly, I cannot come to a conclusion saying that they are selfish. If every selfish person has a reason, ma. We never know. At this point in time, I cannot do mixed matching with everybody. I might meet hundreds of people. How will I keep on do the testing? Won't work. There again, energy draining can happen.
It is happening. I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
So it happens. Then I pick up my energy and then I keep
So when
going.
we actually as women, we get more power. Be for men, for women, for anybody for that matter. When we're very authentic to ourselves, what I am. At the same time, I'm not harming the other person. Right? I'm giving my best to the ability I can. That's a clarity every woman, every employer, every person need to have.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Thulasi.
Most
So, would you like to recommend any book for our viewers? Any book which you transformed or any program since you're a trainer?
Definitely, I will tell all my programs as a transformative program.
Okay.
That's no doubt about it. I would definitely recommend you can heal your life. You can create exceptional life for yourself. Now, Chetan Bhagat's 11 Rules for Life. That's also an amazing book.
So that is also okay. You're talking about the book.
Books.
Okay.
So there are so many things that you can also keep you diverted or, even distracting from the negative thinking is also a productive one only. So you can take over and think about it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time,
You're most
Thulasi. It was
welcome.
wonderful having you here in our Statzone podcast show. Thank you all viewers
Thank
and
you
thank you,
very much.
Thulasi.
Thank you.